But if Liverpool goes and scores one in the first half, especially early in the game, I feel like it's just going to swing the momentum into their favor. So for this reason, I still feel like Liverpool is going to get through. Well, I was wrong. One of the craziest Champions League matches I've seen in a while. Well, not really, because the Champions League always has insane matches. But for those of you who have not watched the Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid match, just stop what you're doing right now and go watch it, because it was insane from start to finish. If you didn't watch my preview, I'm going to go ahead and direct you towards that first. I'll leave a tag up here. It's somewhere, one of these, left or right, I always forget. Go watch the preview because then the intro will make a little bit more sense to you, because I had originally said that Liverpool was going to make it through. I predicted that there would not be a goalless match. I knew that Liverpool was going to bring the heat and that I expected at least a goal from them. And that's exactly what happened in the first 90 minutes. Liverpool got the first goal and then continued to press for the rest of the game while Atletico Madrid does what they do best, defend until the end. But man, it was crazy. So 90 minutes end, and the last 30 minutes of extra time, Atletico Madrid just came alive. It looked like the game was just like game, set, match. When Firmino was the one who scored the goal to make it 2-0, aggregate 2-1. So at that point, it looked like Liverpool had wrapped it up in extra time, and basically my prediction, I was like, yep, just like I thought. Not even 2 minutes later, I think, it must have been a few minutes later, Simeone and his substitutions this match. He looked like a genius. As soon as Firmino scored his goal, Atletico Madrid immediately responded, thanks to, I believe it was Llorente. Llorente was the one who scored right after Firmino, making it 2-1. Keep in mind, in the Champions League, there is the away goal rule. So because it was aggregate 2-2, but because Atletico Madrid had one away goal, they were in the lead. It's really hard to explain. I kind of wish I could explain that a little better, but so Atletico Madrid was winning because of the away goal rule. So aggregate 2-2. Going into the last maybe 15 minutes, keep in mind that Atletico Madrid was in the lead. Liverpool needed to score at least one more to give them the lead in the aggregate score, which would have made it 3-2. But they could not get it. Atletico Madrid then went on to just completely kill off the game thanks to Morata, who also had an assist, I want to point out, which was Diego Simeone's second substitution that I wanted to point out. So Llorente, Morata, substitutions who came in and just completely made a huge impact on the match. You know, Simeone, everybody knows that Atletico Madrid, they will defend like it's nobody's business. And that's exactly what they did. Liverpool, it was a very interesting game because it was Liverpool, who is known for their constant goal threat. I think they had like 2.6 goals average a match at home. And I mean, they scored 2. So, you know, but all props to Atletico Madrid. I don't want to take anything away from them, but I do want to point out one major difference, or one thing that made a huge difference was the injury to Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker is Liverpool's starting goalkeeper who got injured, and Adrian is the one who took over. Adrian came in for Alisson Becker, and it was Adrian who made the mistake that actually brought Atletico Madrid back into the match. I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know if he was just trying to kick it higher up the pitch or if he was trying to pass it to somebody, but he gave it right to Joao Felix, who found Llorente with a beautiful pass. And Llorente just knew exactly what to do, man. I mean, he found that shot right in the corner, and that was the huge momentum shift. You could feel the stadium just completely come down with that goal. But I also was very surprised at how many Atletico Madrid fans went over to Anfield, because once Atletico Madrid started to take over, you could hear the audience cheering, which I was surprised. I was like, aren't they playing at Anfield? How are there so many Atletico Madrid fans there? Props to the Colchoneros. Los Colchoneros, congratulations, guys. You deserved it. I had y'all written off. I mean, you can't count out La Liga, right? I mean, you don't know how many people I get into discussions with saying, oh, you know, the Premier League is so much better than La Liga because La Liga has such small teams and, you know, it's just a 2-horse race every single year. But you cannot count out these Spanish teams. They play very well. And I think Jurgen Klopp after the match had kind of, you know, fired some shots at Atletico Madrid saying, you know, they have the players to play well. I mean, I guess by that he means play offensive football, but they won. If Liverpool is known for offense, Atletico Madrid is known for defense. This brings me to another point. I know I keep rambling with these discussions, but it's a lot of fun for me, so I'm going to keep doing it. Going back to my point here was that in the second half, when Liverpool were really looking to close out the game, it was 1-0, and if they could have scored one more, they would have taken the lead aggregate, and they could have wrapped it up in the 90 minutes. So I feel like they really poured all of their energy into that second half, and when they didn't get the goal, that's when I feel like their morale kind of dropped, and it was also a point where I feel like the nerves started to set in. It's like they used up all of this energy. And I mean, they had like 70 or 80% of the possession throughout the whole match, which is insane. If somebody were to just look at those numbers, I think they had way more chances created, way more shots on target. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. Actually, let me have a look at that. I went ahead, I looked up, so it was 71% possession to Liverpool. Insane. And Liverpool had a total of 34 shots, 11 of those were on target, compared to Atletico's 10 shots total. So less than a third of what Liverpool was able to manage in terms of total output in offense. And only 6 of those were on target for Atletico Madrid. And yet Atletico went and won the match. Oh man. It's just crazy. I'm still really hyped about this, as I'm sure you can tell. I wanted to go ahead and get this video out to you guys because it was an insane match, and I had completely written off Atletico Madrid. It's wild. I mean, again, if you have not watched this match, I would highly recommend it. And this just goes to show how great the Champions League is. I mean, you cannot count any team out. And I mean, it's fair to say that Atletico Madrid had the lead going into this match, but it was only a 1-goal lead and they were going to go play away from home. Most people, including myself, would have argued that since Liverpool's going to have the home field advantage, they have arguably a better offense. People expected Liverpool to just completely ride away with the win. What can you say? I mean, props to Simeone and Atletico Madrid. They played their game. They stuck to what they knew. I could not see any time throughout the match where Atletico Madrid moved away from their 4-4-2. They stick to that religiously, but they do it so well. That's the thing. This also raises a lot of questions about the future matches. So Champions League second leg round of 16 will commence again next week with some huge matches, including Real Madrid and Barcelona. Just a recap, I still have Real Madrid, especially after today's match. This match really highlighted how you cannot count out a team even if they're playing away from home. And again, I will say, I still think if Real Madrid plays well, or at least like the way they did in El Clásico, where they were just completely offense oriented, everybody was focused, everybody knew exactly where they needed to be and what they needed to do. If they get some away goals, it can get crazy real quick. As for the other match, Barcelona will be at home against Napoli, but I do want to point out, I believe both of these matches will be behind closed doors. We can't really talk about it. I'm going to refer to it as the CV but it's something that's spreading. I'm sure you've heard about it recently. It's kind of all over the news. I might make another video on that. I've really been considering it. These next 2 matches will be played behind closed doors, so there won't be an audience while the teams play. And I'm really interested to see how that's going to affect both of the teams. Guardiola had already said that he really doesn't want to play the match. He was arguing if you're not going to have the audience, you might as well just scrap the match entirely, go ahead and reschedule it. But up to the point of this recording, it is going to take place. So Manchester City will be at home, but without that home field advantage. It's kind of a neutral setting because you don't have your audience cheering you on. The audience definitely plays a huge factor because when you're rushing forward, you hear all of the gasps, you hear all of the cheering, and it just gives you more energy. But without that, I can see why Guardiola would want to reschedule the match, especially because he knows, oh trust me, he knows that Real Madrid is dangerous, especially with the potential away goal rule coming into play, because it's only 1-2. 1 goal separates them. And I believe, let's see, Real Madrid scored 1 goal at home, and then Manchester City has 2 away goals. I believe Real Madrid would have to score 2, if I'm not mistaken, just to go ahead and completely wipe out the match. So I mean, a 2-0 score, it's not impossible. As for Barcelona, they will be playing at home, but without their audience. And I mean, Barcelona does much better when they're at home, but now without their audience, I wonder how that's going to affect them. Only time will tell, but I am definitely interested in seeing how the rest of the matches go. Again, guys, thank you for everybody who supports the channel. If you like these type of videos, if you enjoy watching me ramble on about football and watching me try and utter complete sentences while I'm trying to gather all of my thoughts, give the video a like. It really helps support the channel. If you want to see my future videos, go ahead and subscribe. I try to get out these videos at least once a week, and we talk about football related topics, whether that's matches, whether that's player analysis segments. Thanks so much to you guys. You guys are the reason why I do this. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.